Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Gauranga Gauranga Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev. जल्दी आओ गुरुदेव, जल्दी आओ. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की. महाराज जल्दी आओ, महाराज जल्दी आओ. हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा, हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम राम, हरे हरे. जय प्रभुपाद, जय गुरुदेव. हरे कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा, हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम राम, हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Loudly. जल्दी आएंगे महाराज, जोर से बोलिए. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Jai Gurudev. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Prabhupada. Jai Gurudev. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. सब बोलिए loudly, very 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 loudly. Gauranga. Jai Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. सब जोर से बोलिए हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Loud kirtan, please, very very loud. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. For Maharaj, loudly.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Very, very loudly, please. Jai Gurudev, Jai Prabhupada. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Gurudev.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Prabhupada.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Gopinath. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, hey, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Loud kirtan will attract Maharaj for Maharaj's pleasure. Very loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So very honored to have with us again after a few months His Holiness Radhanath Swami maharaj. So as all of you are aware that in April Radhanath Maharaj went from India to the West, and then after a couple of months of various preaching and outreach activities in the West, is again here, back home, back to ISKCON Chowpatty at the lotus feet of Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir. So all the devotees have assembled like Chataka birds, and it is raining heavily outside. So the good news is His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj will be spending time here in Mumbai and GV and maybe one or two other places, and will be around and celebrate Krishna Janmashtami at ISKCON Chowpatty. On 21st of July, we are celebrating the Sri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan's Brahmotsav festival, and we are also honored to have the auspicious presence of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj for that. So, all of us are very fortunate that by the mercy of His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, we have so many of His wonderful disciples who have given their lives for spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world. Just a couple of days back when Maharaj, after returning from the West, he was giving a small introductory talk to the brahmacharis, and very interesting question he asked: how many of your parents had heard of Rupa Goswami? How many of your parents had given you some idea about the Goswamis of Vrindavan? And it was a very striking point, because many of us are born in India, grew up in families which were kind of religious also. But in spite of all of that, to get direct access to the knowledge of the parampara is a rare privilege which cannot be taken for granted. And the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, on the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, at very short notice and without considering any of their personal conveniences, came from America way back in 1970, and between 70 to 77, on Srila Prabhupada's instructions, they tried to establish Krishna consciousness in India amidst all kinds of difficulties and challenges. Srila Prabhupada's books being published through the BBT were printed and distributed by the disciples in different parts of the Western world, in the Western world. And Srila Prabhupada instructed them to send the Lakshmi to India for developing projects in Mayapur, Vrindavan and Mumbai. And Srila Prabhupada's disciples, without asking a single question on why the money from the West has to be sent to India, when we are actually distributing the books here in the West, but they were totally surrendered to Srila Prabhupada's desire. And thanks to that support, today ISKCON in India has more than 400 temples all over India. Srila Prabhupada made His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj the GBC for India, and under his leadership and steady guidance, gradually ISKCON in India grew. And along with His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj, Bhakticharu Maharaj, Bhanu Maharaj, then Radhanath Maharaj, all of them gave such a steady leadership to ISKCON India that all of us are receiving the sweet fruits of their bhajan, their steadiness, their dedication to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. And as we are moving into the year 2024, many of Srila Prabhupada's disciples are growing older, facing health challenges, and it becomes our responsibility to constantly pray for their good health and long life in Krishna consciousness, so that we can continue to remain sheltered and Srila Prabhupada's movement can continue to spread far and wide across the whole world. So with these words, I would like to welcome His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, who began his preaching activities in Mumbai by establishing Shri Radha Gopinath deities, and then went on to establish Shri Radha Madan Mohan deities at Govardhan Eco Village and Shri Radha Govinda Dev temple in Thane. Thank you, Maharaj, for bringing Sri Vrindavan Dham to Mumbai. Hari Bol.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana Jamuna Thira Panachari Jamuna Thira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Prajajanarandana Yashodanandana Prajajanarandana Yashodanandana Prajajanarandana Jamuna Tira Pranachari Jamuna Tira Pranachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Vishnupad Paramhansa Padiprachakacharya Astotar Sri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Padiprachakacharya Astotar Sri Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Hananti Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sikaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Sri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Sri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Sri Mathura Dham Ki Jai Sri Dwarka Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mahi Ki Jai Yamuna Mahi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gauda Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavat Shikshitam Aham Karavani Hyathandritaha Nehamana Prajasargam Badhyeyam Yad Anugrahat Bhagavat Shikshitam Aham Karavani Hyatandrita Nehamana Prachasargam Badheyam Yad Anugrahat Bhagavat Shikshitam Aham Karavani Hyatandritaha Nehamana Prachasargam Badheyam Yad Anugrahat
Bhagavata Shikshitam Aham Karavani Hyatandrita Nehamana Prajasargam Badhyayam Yad Anugrahat Bhagavad Shikshitam Aham Karavani Hyatandrita Nehamana Prajasargam Badhyayam Yad Anugrahat Bhagavad Shikshitam Aham Karavani Hyatandrita Nehamana Prajasargam Badhyayam Yad Anugrahat Bhagavad Shikshitam Aham Karavani Hyatandrita Nehamana Prajasargam Badhyayam Yad Anugrahat.
Ladies,
Bhagavad Shikshitam Aham Karavani Hyatandrita Nehamana Prajasargam Badhyayam Yad Anugrahat Bhagavad Shikshitam Aham Karavani Hyatandrita Nehamana Prajasargam Badhyayam Yad Anugrahat Bhagavad Shikshitam Aham Karavani Hyatandrita Nehamana Prajasargam Badhyayam Yad Anugrahat.
Bhagavat, by the personality of Godhead, Chikshitam, taught, Aham, myself, Karavani, by acting, he, certainly, Atendritaha, instrumental, na, never, Ihamana, although acting, Prajasarvakam, generation of the living entities, Badhyeyam, be conditioned, Yat, as a matter of fact, anugrahat, by the mercy of. Please tell me so that I may be taught in the matter of the instruction of the personality of Godhead, and may thus act instrumentally to generate living entities without being conditioned by such activities. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada.
Brahmaji does not want to become a speculator dependent on the strength of his personal knowledge and conditioned to material bondage. Everyone should know in clear consciousness that one is, in the execution of all activities, an instrument. A conditioned soul is instrumental in the hands of the external energy, gunamayi maya, or the illusory energy of the Lord. And in the liberated stage, the living entity is instrumental to the will of the personality of Godhead directly. To be instrumental to the direct will of the Lord is the natural constitutional position of the living entity. Whereas to be an instrument in the hands of the illusory energy of the Lord is material bondage for the living entity. In that conditioned state, the living entity speculates on the absolute truth and his different activities. But in the unconditional stage, the living entity directly receives knowledge from the Lord, and as such, a liberated soul acts flawlessly, without any speculative habit. The Bhagavad Gita confirms emphatically that the pure devotees who are constantly engaged in the loving service of the Lord are directly advised by the Lord, so much so that the devotee unwaveringly makes progress on the path back home, back to Godhead. Pure devotees of the Lord are therefore not proud of their definite progress. Whereas the non-devotee speculator is in the darkness of illusory energy and is very much proud of his misleading knowledge based on speculation without any definite path. Lord Brahma wanted to be saved from the pitfall of pride, although he was posted in the most exalted position within the universe. Om Agyan Timidandasya Jnananjanat Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tatati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapatakamallam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sagadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidhamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktabinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Thank you for being here today. I am sincerely grateful to be back home, back to Radha Gopinath's supreme abode with each of you. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Nartaki Devi, for coming to bless all the devotees. We are reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, entitled Answers by Citing the Lord's Version. Text number 29. Please tell me so that I may be taught in the matter of the instruction of the personality of Godhead, and may thus act instrumentally to generate living entities without being conditioned by such activities. Srila Prabhupada concludes his purport with this sentence. Lord Brahma wanted to be saved. This word saved should not be taken lightly. Actually, it's a deeply grave word. Lord Brahma wanted to be saved from the pitfall of pride, although he was posted in the most exalted position within the universe. The context of how Krishna instructs the world is essential to understand and apply to our own lives, whoever we may be. Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is Krishna's dear friend, one of the most close, intimate associates directly of Krishna. We have evam parampara prabdam, parampara, where we understand Krishna from centuries, millenniums of great saints who are giving us Krishna, his message, and the spirit of how to please him. Arjuna was personal friends with Krishna his whole life. For the Pandavas, Krishna was willing to act as their messenger, carrying out duties. Krishna was trying to assist the Pandavas. And of course, Krishna is supremely victorious in every way. Still, from the relative perspective, when he tried to persuade Duryodhana to give the Pandavas what was rightfully theirs, to stop his egoistic atrocities. Duryodhana got worse. So Krishna was externally not successful. But it was all ultimately within Krishna's plan. So the battle of Kurukshetra was inevitable. And Arjuna, who was the greatest of warriors on the side of the Pandavas, Karapanya doso bahata svabhava. He became utterly bewildered. He didn't know who he was, what he was supposed to do, how he was supposed to do it. In this sense, I recently heard a recording of Srila Prabhupada. He was speaking about Srila Sanatana Goswami's meeting with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Varanasi. And Srila Prabhupada was describing the exalted post, the exalted character, the incredible intellect and knowledge, what to speak of influence, of Srila Sanatana Goswami. Extremely wealthy, beautiful palaces. He was connected directly to the king. The king not only depended on Sanatana Goswami and would give him anything in return and everything he wanted, but he considered Sanatana Goswami his own brother. Can you imagine that connection, that influence? And such a scholar of all the scriptural languages of that day and time and place. And people loved him. He was personification of popularity among all the people he was leading. And yet when he came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on bank of Mother Ganga in Varanasi, he's putting straw between his teeth. Srila Prabhupada, he said, we don't do that anymore. And if we did, nobody would know what's going on. They think you're hungry or something. It's some sort of new health diet. But at that time, that was a expression of totally humbling oneself before another. He put straw between your teeth. He offered his dandavats with a sincere heart. He's only describing how unqualified he is. He didn't describe his accomplishments. He didn't describe his successes. He described his shortcomings. Because before God, what is our accomplishments? To be proud means we're not really feeling the presence of God in our life. A symptom of one who is in the presence of God is no pride. Who in this world can compare themselves to Srila Sanatana Goswami? He is Lavanga Manjari, a direct personal associate of Srimati Radharani and the Sakis in the spiritual world. And yet, he's so embarrassed before the Lord. People call me learned, but I do not even know who I am or why I'm suffering or where I'm coming from. Obviously, intellectually and through direct realization, Sanatana Goswami knew the answers to all of these questions. And he's not just presenting himself to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this light, because Krishna's in our heart. Sanatana Goswami is speaking what is in his heart. And he begins the question, who am I? And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he begins his teachings, Jivara Swarupoi Krishnara Nityadas, that the living entity, the spirit soul, by constitutional nature, is an eternal servant of Krishna. Jivara Swarupoi, that means you're not your body, you are the eternal servant of Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada is comparing this scene to Kurukshetra. In the Sanatana Shiksha, this is how the instructions begin. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is perplexed. He's confused. Such a great warrior. He's crying. He's pale, physically, practically immobilized. And he's expressing to Krishna his confusion. So Srila Prabhupada describes Sanatana Goswami was more advanced than Arjuna. Because Arjuna is just expressing how confused he was and how he didn't know what to do. But Sanatana Goswami is directly getting to the question, who am I? And therefore Krishna gave a much more advanced answer to Sanatana Goswami. Krishna begins Bhagavad Gita, Natvevaham jatu nasvam dehinosmin yatha dehe. That you're not the body, you're the eternal soul. Najayate mriyate vakadachet, nahanyate hanyamane sarire. The soul is eternal. It is never born, it never dies. It's primeval. It is not slain when the body is dead. So he is systematically describing we are not the body, the mind, or the ego, we are the eternal soul. That's beginning of Bhagavad Gita's instructions, Arjuna Shiksha. Sanatan Shiksha, such an elevated beginning. He's not only describing who we are and what we're not. Jivera Swarupa Krishna Nityadas. In this one line of one sloka, he's describing the nature of the soul eternally. We are eternal servants of Krishna. In the first verse, he's speaking beyond the conception of mukti, or liberation. In liberation, we realize we're not this body and we never have to suffer. Adhyatmaka, adidaivaka, adibhotika. Beyond that realization and knowledge, we are eternally servants of Krishna. In both cases, Sanatana Goswami and Arjuna felt themselves completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Here in Srimad Bhagavatam, Arjuna is Krishna's great friend and the greatest warrior in the world. Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj is the grandchild of Arjuna. And in certain ways, he was in a higher position than Arjuna. Arjuna was the brother of the future emperor. And at the time of Bhagavad Gita, they were just coming out of exile for so many long years. But Parikshit Maharaj is the emperor of the world. And not only does he have the grace of Krishna through his family, long before Narasimhadev told little Prahlad that for generation after generation of any devotee who surrenders to me as my devotee, I give liberation. So Arjuna is liberated in that sense. What to speak of Parikshit Maharaj? Parikshit Maharaj was in such a special, intimate relationship due to his family. When he was in the womb of his mother, he was fully conscious, like Prahlad. The son of Drona, Ashwatthama sent that Brahmastra, a nuclear weapon, beyond nuclear, a mystic weapon. It was already set off and on the way. Now today we have these nuclear bombs. And when you set it off, there's so much technology to try to intercept the bomb in the sky or something and make it go off where it doesn't come down on the earth where we are. When that nuclear bomb was coming, that Brahmastra, it happened so fast, nobody could stop it. It actually came right into the womb. And Parikshit Maharaj witnessed Krishna come and save him. Such gratitude he had. Before birth, he knew Krishna saved me. And here, Srila Prabhupada's last sentence, he's using this word. Lord Brahma wanted to be saved from the pitfall of pride. In the contents of what we're speaking today, pride is like the Brahmastra of material energy. And even Lord Brahma was fully conscious that he needed to be saved by Krishna. Because we cannot do it on our own. So Parikshit Maharaj was coronated as the emperor. And he was doing everything so perfectly in his prescribed duties. Still, the nature of material life and the nature of the instruction that Krishna wants to teach the world through the setting he creates is such that although he had such blessings, such a high birth, such skill, such incredible success, still, practically beyond himself, that human nature came and he made a mistake. The mistake he made is the worst thing according to his own values. He disrespected a saintly person. And that's actually being revealed as at the very heart and core of the Vedic Dharma. Is offering honor and respect to saintly people. The emperor disrespected one saintly person. And the reaction, he was cursed to die a ghastly death by being bit by a celestial serpent. And when we get bit by a snake in this world, you know, there may be some anti-venom available and we may be saved. Otherwise, we die. But this particular serpent, if it bites you, it causes your whole body to go on fire. And not only you die, you physically disappear. Parikshit Maharaj was not so much concerned that he was going to die. He was concerned that he made an offense to a saintly person. For him, that was even worse than death. So he accepted it. And even our acharyas describe he could have counteracted the first curse. He could have punished the child that gave the curse. He's the emperor of the world, and he's getting cursed by a child for an apparent offense to his father. Quite a humiliating situation. So in the 7 days he had to live, what was his humble condition? He came before the great devotees of the Lord, the great sages and yogis, on the bank of Mother Ganga in Sukatala, and prayed for transcendental knowledge. What is the duty of a person who is about to die? What is at the very heart and essence of all dharma or religion? And Sukadeva Goswami, with the blessings and the empowerment of all of the assembled sages, rishis, paramhamsas, he speaks to Parikshit Maharaj. Such an incredible setting. It's the emperor of the world who had such a perfect record up until his mistake of protecting others, performing his duty. And he had such blessings upon him. He's praying to be saved. In this verse, we find from this particular section of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami is going back into histories to show how this parampara of surrender is at the very heart of Dharma. He's describing Narada Muni, who is the second personality in our parampara. He's approaching Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma is describing his situation. He was the first living entity of the entire universe. Today, even with all of our science and our technology, how much do we really know in detail about the entire universe? We may think it's such a great accomplishment, which from our perspective it is, that we can create telescopes where we can see different planets. But what the Vedas are describing about what the universe is and what's happening within this universe is so much beyond our sensual, mental capacity to comprehend in any way. Brahma is born to create it all. If anyone has something to be proud of achieving, it's going to be Brahma. Not only is he going to create all the planets and organize the modes of material nature, but he's going to be the father of every living entity of all species of life within the universe. Because at the scene, we're being taken at this to this moment in history where Brahma is the only person in the universe. He's just coming out from the navel of Lord Vishnu. He's on a lotus flower. And like Arjuna, like Sanatana Goswami, but even in a deeper state. Because at least Arjuna and Sanatana Goswami, they had some conception that at least they used to know what was going on to some extent. But Brahma was just looking around and there was nothing and no one around him. Now it's not just a story, he's a person. Can you imagine just sitting on a flower? And you don't know where the flower's coming from? You don't know who you are. There's nothing around except just like sky. There's nothing below you, on any side of you, above you. There's no one around. You're just sitting there. That's a bewildering situation. You know, Arjuna was bewildered. But, you know, Krishna was there and, and he was on a chariot. And Brahma, there's nothing and no one. And yet, somehow, inherently within his heart, he had this understanding, this idea that he was supposed to create a universe. Now, our tendency is we read it and we try to memorize it and all of that. But this is a personal philosophy. Vaishnava is in every aspect. God is a person and we are persons forever. And the interaction between the Lord and the devotee is always personal. And the interaction between devotees and all other devotees, and even the interaction between the devotees and the entire environment around us is always personal. That's Vaishnava Bhakti. So Brahma is a person. He doesn't know what to do. He starts climbing down the stem of the lotus. Because it's our tendency. We want to know where we're coming from. People tell me when I travel that there's certain internet facilities where you pay some money and they'll tell you, generation, the last 5, 6, 7 generations of who your relatives were. Even Brahma wanted to know where he's coming from. And there was nothing tangible except air all around us. Not even air, space. It wasn't even space. It was just like nothing, darkness. The only tangible thing there was a flower. So he began to climb down the stem of the flower. And when he got some distance below, he saw this ocean, and it was a very turbulent ocean. Can you imagine what a frightful kind of a situation that would be for us? just a vast, endless ocean. So immediately he climbed back up to the flower. He'd rather be alone there than in the ocean. And when he realized how totally helpless he was, he took shelter. He took shelter of a higher power to be saved. And he heard these two syllables, tapa, tapasia. And Srimad, this section of Bhagavatam describes Brahma was trying to understand who said it, where the voice was coming from. There was no speaker system. There was no people. And Brahma has, he could see all directions simultaneously. He's just looking around everywhere. Who said this tapa? Couldn't find the origin. He just heard and he surrendered and began to perform tapasia, which means he completely absorbed himself in meditation on the Lord for 1,000 celestial years. This is an important instruction. We're thinking I chanted 16 rounds for like 30 years. Why I'm not seeing Krishna? And actually we are seeing Krishna. Every time we come to our temple, on the altar of our own homes, Krishna is within his names, within the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. But still, we're thinking, why? Why this lesson is here? Brahma, so qualified, he performed his tapasya, which can be considered equivalent to our sadhana. Our sadhana is our tapasya. We're given these 4 regulative principles: moral, social, values, to live a pure life, so that we're not distracted from or implicating ourselves in various karmic reactions that take our attention away from Krishna. So he performed his sadhana with fixed attention for 1,000 celestial years. Some of our brahmacharis, do you have a calculation of how many earthly years 1,000 celestial years is?
3 lakhs.
Huh?
3 lakhs.
Krishnananda Prabhu, 3 lakhs. That means 365,000 years. So we should chant our 16 rounds at least that long before we get undue expectations. In other words, we shouldn't be discouraged. And we shouldn't give up. Because evam parampara praptam. We're meant to follow in disciplic succession. And those who are preserving and presenting the grace of the Lord through parampara, they are acharyas. They're teaching by example. And Krishna teaches the world through the devotees. When Sanatana Goswami was humbling himself so genuinely, even before Lord Chaitanya began his teachings, to Arjuna, he began, you're not the body, you're an eternal soul. And it culminated in Sarva Dharman Parityasya. You should abandon all varieties of dharma and surrender to me. Completely be dependent upon me. Man mana bhava mad bhakto. How? By always thinking of me. By being my devotee. That's the culmination of Gita. Sanatana Goswami, Lord Chaitanya begins his teachings, you are the eternal servant of Krishna, and then in the Sanatana Shiksha, the culmination is an intimate explanation of the details of the loving rasas between Shri Radha and Krishna, and the gopas and the gopis in Vrindavan, and the various stages of ecstatic love in the highest planet of the spiritual world, and how we express those ecstatic, eternal feelings of prema, and how Krishna reciprocates. It is, in that sense, very, very deep. So Krishna not only is teaching through the example of his devotees, but Krishna's teaching by how he personally interacts and creates situations within the lives of his devotees. So Brahma, for 1,000 celestial years, he didn't give up. Of course, he didn't have much alternatives of anything else to do. You know, we have so many things to do. He didn't just decide, let me check out what's on my cell phone. He was totally absorbed in surrendering to Krishna, performing his sadhana. And then by Krishna's grace, Krishna revealed to Brahma the spiritual world of Vaikuntha. And there's beautiful descriptions by Sukadev Goswami of what Lord Brahma saw. And he saw the devotees of the Lord in Vaikuntha. And then he saw Lord Narayan. And Lord Narayan approached Brahma. And in Srila Prabhupada's translation, he shook Brahma's hand. And in these beautiful verses, Lord Brahma is inquiring from Krishna. And this is where we are. Transcendental knowledge, Leela, is not bound by geographic conditions, limitations, not even by time. How all-devouring is time? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna showed his Virat Rupa. And Arjuna was saying, what is this? A sight nobody has ever seen before. And Krishna said, I've never shown this to anyone before. Srila Prabhupada writes, Krishna showed his Avirat Rupa to Duryodhana. But still, by his own independent will, Duryodhana neglected Krishna. He wouldn't surrender. But it wasn't the same Virat Rupa. It wasn't so complete. It was a partial Virat Rupa. But what he exhibited to Arjuna was extraordinary. And Krishna, Kalosmi, time I am, the destroyer of everything and everyone. That's material nature. Now this transcendental knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam is actually beyond time. And time is categorized as past, present, and future. So not only is a devotee not limited, the body is, however great we may be, however realized, old age, disease, and death are inevitable for these material bodies and everything that we call our own. But when we understand that we're eternal servants of Krishna, Neha Vikramanasosти, any service we render is eternal. It's never lost. So as we become advanced in Krishna consciousness when we're serving, we know that in whatever situation I'm in, if I just surrender to Krishna, I'll always have more service. Therefore, it's the most valuable treasure in all of existence, is the opportunity to serve, because it's the only thing that's forever. And even in the past, when we're reading right now, it's beyond time. We're here. We're there on that lotus flower with Brahma. As Krishna's revealing Vaikuntha. In the verse previous to today, Brahma is inquiring from Krishna. Lord Brahma said, O personality of Godhead, you are situated in every living entity's heart as the supreme director, and therefore you are aware of all endeavors by your superior intelligence, without any hindrance whatsoever. In spite of that, my Lord, I am praying to you to kindly fulfill my desire. May I please be informed how, in spite of your transcendental form, you assume the mundane form, although you have no such form at all. And please inform me how you, by your own self, manifest different energies for annihilation, generation, acceptance, and maintenance by combination and permutation. O Master of all energies, please tell me philosophically all about them. You play like a spider that covers itself by its own energy, and your determination is infallible. Please tell me so that I may be taught in the matter of the instruction of the personality of Godhead, and may thus act instrumentally to generate living entities without being conditioned by such activities. In this context, Krishna is explaining how it's possible that the eternal soul, part and parcel of Krishna, the eternal servant of Krishna, could identify with a material body, a material mind, and be overwhelmed by this material ego, and become so much implicated and attached through these misconceptions. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hridishani vishto madasmyadir jnanam bhuvanam cha. We cannot remember Krishna unless Krishna, by his grace, allows us to remember him. And at the same time, we have no power to forget Krishna unless by Krishna's grace he gives us the power to forget him. If we meditate deeply on this subject, it's kind of more inconceivable to forget Krishna than to remember Krishna. Because it's reality. If we're eternally part and parcel of Krishna, we can't even know who we are or how to serve without Krishna's grace. But even more inconceivable is how can we forget that? Why and how is it possible that an eternally liberated soul, which is at the very essence of our existence, we're totally overwhelmed by this conception and attachment that I'm a body that's subject to old age, disease, to death, adhyatmika, adhibautika, adhidaivika. At any moment we're going to suffer. And most of us, we're already suffering. And we don't know what's next. And we think back. And usually pains leave a bigger impression on the mind than pleasures. Have you had that experience when you think back in your life? It's hard to forget the painful experiences. Why would the eternal soul identify with this body and mind, ever changing? It's like a dream. And it's only possible because Krishna gives us that ability to forget. But as Krishna gives us the ability to forget according to our own sweet will, Krishna alone gives us the ability to remember. So we are completely dependent on this higher power of mercy. And therefore Srila Prabhupada concludes this purport. Lord Brahma wanted to be saved from the pitfall of pride, although he was posted in the most exalted position within the universe. And as we know in Vrindavan, so Brahma lives 311 trillion years by our calculation. And now he's approximately 50 years old. So that's like somewhere around 150 trillion years old by our calculation. And just recently, 5,000 years ago, when Krishna performed his Leelas in Vrindavan, Brahma's already the guru of Narada Muni and the Param Guru of Vyasadeva. But still, by Krishna's arrangement, even in his post, he was forgetful. That's how cautious we must be in every stage of our spiritual progress of false pride. When he took the little boys, the gopas and the calves, and hid them, he was testing Krishna. And Brahma Vimohan, he became completely bewildered. And here he was, right in Vrindavan, but he couldn't see Vrindavan. We cannot see unless Krishna gives us the power to see. So after he became bewildered by Krishna's wonderful pastime of manifesting himself directly and personally in every calf and every cowherd boy for 1 full year, and when Brahma came down to see what was happening, every calf was Krishna directly. Every gopa, cowherd boy, was Krishna directly. But Brahma couldn't understand it. He was thinking, how are they still here when I took them? This is how much he was thinking, I'm the doer of my activities. And when he became very, very, according to Gopal Champu of Jiva Goswami, he looked at one little cowherd boy and was, how is it that you're all still here? He didn't say it, he was just thinking like that. And this cowherd boy looked at Brahma, he's just a little boy. And this is Brahma, coming from Brahma Loka in the heavens. And the boy said, to me, you're not even as significant as one of my goats. He didn't even compare him to one of his cows. He compared him to one of his goats. And then he saw all these limitless cowherd boys and calves turn into four-armed Vishnus. And then he became completely bewildered. And then everything disappeared. And it was just Krishna standing alone with the same dahi and fruit and rice that was in his hand 1 year before. He was innocently looking for his friends and calves. And Brahma, Krishna revealed. He fell unconscious. He totally surrendered. And in that total surrender, Chintamani Prakarasadma Sukalpa. He could see Vrindavan. Narottam Das Thakur prays Vishayachadiyakave Sudakave. That unless we're free from all these egoistic desires to enjoy, we cannot see Vrindavan. Because Vrindavan cannot just be seen with these fleshy eyes. Because Vrindavan is transcendental. None different than Radharani and Krishna. Krishna gives us remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Krishna gives us a taste for the chanting of the holy names. All the powers of Sri Radha's love and Krishna's infinite, all-attractive beauty are within the holy names. But it's only by Sri Radha Gopinath's grace, and to the extent we're willing to reciprocate with their grace, do they reveal their holy names. So this is the beautiful example that Krishna sets with our acharyas, beginning with Lord Brahma. And this is the gift that Srila Prabhupada has given us. Thank you very much. When I was many years ago, I remember being told, and some things that happen when you're just beginning in the path of bhakti, you remember throughout your life. And it becomes like a foundational principle. I was told that one devotee was approaching Srila Prabhupada and finding fault in another devotee. And Srila Prabhupada said, "You do not know who this person really is." So even among each other, we can't really understand each other unless Krishna reveals to us. And that is why the idea of seeing a Vaishnav with material vision is a great impediment to our spiritual growth. So let us put this into practice. And then with this spirit, Sankirtan, the congregational chanting, can actually transform this world. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And by by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we may not have to wait 1,000 celestial years. If we just humble ourselves, Trinadapi Sunichena, to chant the holy names and serve the Lord's devotees and be an instrument to serve the Lord's will in this world, in this very lifetime. We cannot attain, but Krishna can bestow upon us a perfection that Brahma received of seeing Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. And with your permission, I will now go. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Radhanath Swami maharaj ki jai. Jai.